Well, earlier this week, we told you about a 7-year-old girl who miraculously survived a plane crash after the crash killed her entire family. She managed to find her way to safety nearly a mile away from the crash site. Well, a California family survived a similar incident. Brian Brown, who piloted the aircraft, kept his family safe until they were rescued, and he joins us from Los Angeles, California, to give us insight into what it takes to survive such a horrific event. Brian, thank you so much for being here on Arise America. I appreciate it.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I want to hear the details about the incident that your family went through, but first of all, I want to ask you about little Sailor Gutzler, who was the lone survivor of this tragic plane crash and made her way in the dark and the cold 3/4 of a mile to a neighbor's house. When you heard that, were you surprised that a 7-year-old could do that?
Oh yeah, I was surprised and, gladly surprised, just really overwhelming that young lady had the thrive and drive to seek some help, and she had to overcome a lot of fear and just a brave young lady.
As I understand it, Brian, it struck a chord with you when she told authorities that her dad had taught her some survival techniques that she used. Why did that strike a chord?
Well, yeah, I have two girls as well. They're young adult daughters now, but when they were Sailor's age, we used to go up to our mountain cabin, and I would teach them a lot of the same survival skills. How to start a fire and how to find water, and how to make water drinkable, and then just how to even make makeshift shelters and basically how to find your direction if you needed to.
So tell us a little bit about your incident. You were flying the plane, if I'm not mistaken, and your family was with you. What happened? And I understand that you were out waiting 13 hours before you were rescued.
Yeah, that's all correct. It was a simple flight, something just like I say in California, very routine to drive from Sacramento to go to Disneyland. It's just a few hours. And, you don't really expect any kind of event out of that. And same with this. This was a flight from Lodi, California to Mountain Home, Idaho. And when our flight started, it was a crystal clear day. You can see in some of your pictures there, the first picture that you've shown was actually my pre-flight morning, and the weather was very clear. And then the picture showing now is in Rome, Oregon. That's when we hit our first weather. And you can see I'm back on the ground again. And we waited in Rome, Oregon for probably around 3 hours or so. And it even anticipated having to sleep in the aircraft.
What was the climate like at the time, and what was important for you guys to do in order to survive until you were rescued?
Well, the climate from the crash site, it was snowing. Immediately after we had crashed, it started snowing, and so we were in freezing temperatures. It was like that for at least around the 13-hour time frame. The weather went off and on as far as snowing. So we were battling hypothermia. We had dressed, California weather basically, and even for Idaho, we were anticipating the same warm weather, and so we were dressed for California, and so not a lot of clothes, and we had one blanket inside the aircraft that my daughter Heather had given up to her mother and I.
Of course, most people hope that they won't be in a situation like this, but in the off chance that they are, what are your tips?
Well, stay calm. That's probably the biggest thing, and that's what I remember reading about Sailor's situation too. She was just remarkably calm. That really is the biggest saver is staying calm and absolutely having that drive that you're going to survive the event. When you give up, your body will give up. Everything will give up. And so the biggest deal is again, be as prepared as you can for every sort of trip or situation you might be thinking you into, but remain calm. Have some first aid experience. That really saved us, especially my wife. I had actually feared I'd killed Jan on impact. And I had to work on her for a few minutes before I actually started doing the rescue stuff.
Oh my goodness, you said that so casually, Brian. It got past me for a second, but I'm so glad that she is okay. What strikes me about your situation with your crash and your family, as well as little Sailor, is maybe it's important to have some warm clothes with you just in case.
Oh, absolutely. And we talk about that in all of our pilot safety seminars. I attend quite a few of those and even speak in some. And we talk about that. And this one, again, it caught me very off guard, and I really have no excuse for that. But it did. I didn't expect
My
to have
goodness.
a problem in the middle of that flight.
Yeah, nobody expects that, but we're so glad that you lived to tell the tale and that your family is okay, and don't be killing your wife anymore, okay, Brian? Brian Brown, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming on.
All right. Thank you.